Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the April 29, 2021 Cumberland County Commissioners Workshop Meeting. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. and at this time I open up the floor to public comment. For our attendees who are on Zoom, if you would please use the raise your hand feature if you have public comment. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, and I'll call on Commissioner Eichelberger to recognize our mass vaccination clinic volunteers.
I need to excuse myself for a few minutes, so if I can hand that off.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Well, good morning, everyone. So we're going to do the recognition of our mass vaccination clinic volunteers, and I must say that I want to take this opportunity, along with Commissioner DiFilippo and I'm sure with Commissioner Eichelberger, to thank all the volunteers who are helping Cumberland County at the vaccination site. Joining us today are some of the volunteers, and there are some joining via Zoom, but we have in person Bob Shively from Public Safety, we have Dr. Joe Gucciardi, we have who is the founding principal of Gucciardi and Associates Inc., and we have Bruce Spurgeon with the Meeting House. Via Zoom, we have Michelle Parsons with Public Safety, and some of the many volunteers from organizations across the county who are donating their time to give shots in the arm. Public Safety was charged with putting together a clinic, and to date more than 40,000 doses have been administered. This was a huge undertaking, but it's part of the mission of the Department of Public Safety. We opened the Cumberland County Vaccination Clinic in the beginning of March, and since then we have had 28 clinics with more than 1,300 volunteers manning the clinics from local organizations throughout the county. However, the county could not have opened this clinic and phone bank without the cooperation of all of the local and state agencies and the many volunteers who donated their time to make the clinic a success. The volunteers range from medical and non-medical personnel who volunteered their time. Michelle Parsons, who is joining via Zoom, could you please share the names of the organizations? Very nice.
Good morning. We currently have listed the Second Presbyterian Church, the Association of American University Women from Carlisle, the AM Vets, the Carlisle Area Chamber of Commerce, the Carlisle United Methodist Church, Carlisle Evangelical Free Church, the Citizens Fire Company from Mount Holly, Cumberland Valley Rising, Dickinson College, PAC, Messiah University, New Life Community Church, Carlisle Area Religious Council and Project Share, the Rotary Club of Carlisle, the Meeting House, South Middleton Township, U-Haul, and the South Central Task Force Medical Reserve Corps. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. So all 3 commissioners had the opportunity to visit the clinic, and my colleague, Commissioner DiFilippo, received his shot there. Commissioner, you want to talk about your experience?
Yeah, I had my first vaccine shot of the Moderna vaccine on March 20th. I was kind of early on in the process, and my appointment was at 12:10 p.m. Got there about 11:30. The place was packed. I walked up front. Everything was very orderly. I was told we'd call you a few minutes before your schedule. There were a lot of people there. Again, my appointment was at 12:10. I was called at 12:20, so I thought that was pretty impressive. Anyway, as soon as I walked in, filled out some paperwork, which only took a couple of minutes, was directed to checked in and directed to have my shot. Shot was given, didn't feel a thing. Of course, I had to sit down for 15 minutes in case, side effects occurred. The whole process, from the time I walked in and walked out was 40 minutes. And keep in mind, 15 of that was waiting. I thought that was fantastic. Everyone was polite, everyone was knowledgeable, and it was just a great experience. At my second shot, April 17th, same place, I was in and out in 20 minutes. That includes the 15 minutes I had to wait. Same thing, there were more people there to help, more laptops, same experience. And the only side effect I had was later in the day, I felt a little dizzy for maybe 30 minutes. That was it. So I thank everyone involved with this setup because it was wonderful. And I want to stress to people who have not received the vaccine, get the vaccine. It works. The only way we're going to stomp out this illness, this virus, is if we get to the herd immunity point. We're not there yet. So please get the vaccine.
Thank you, Commissioner DiFilippo. So I'm going to talk about the visit that we had yesterday from Pennsylvania's Physician General, Dr. Denise Johnson. And boy, it was such a pleasure to meet her. And I will tell you that Cumberland County and its citizens and its volunteers should be very proud of the fact that she was here yesterday, because she would not have been here if you were not doing such a fantastic job with this clinic. She really was very impressed. She was very engaged. And I think she asked Mr. Shively, 50 questions? And they were excellent questions. It really was so nice to see her interaction. I was so proud. I'm always very proud of Mr. Shively. And Justin Chalice was there. And I cannot say enough about our public safety group and what great work that they do, and our Medical Reserve Corps and the volunteers that are there, because it really is that esprit de corps that makes our community in Cumberland County what it is. And it's a bit overwhelming. It kind of makes me tear up when I think about what happened in this community to get this vaccination clinic going and sustainable. I don't want to walk away though from Dr. Johnson's message yesterday, which was everyone really needs to be vaccinated. That is how we are going to be able to get this virus under control. We're going to be able to get back to normal. We're going to be able to have a thriving economy again, and those things are all important. I am the mother of 2 school-aged children, and I will be thrilled when they can get back to a normal social life. I think that all of us would like that. So I'm wondering if any of the members of if any of the volunteers would like to speak, because the floor is open. And
so first, my name is Joe Gucciardi, and I direct the Medical Reserve Corps, which is a group of about 600 medical, but also logistics and support personnel who are completely volunteer, give of their time. And in the name of all of those people, I'd just like to say thank you very much for recognizing folks this week and this month and today. You're not the only person who's teared up when they've come out of
see, now we're both doing it.
the effort that the folks have put in. Couldn't be there without probably 20 years of planning. I know you all have been through things like the bird flu issues, swine flu issues, influenza issues. Well, probably 30 years ago, most of these 500-600 volunteers started to plan and train under the direction of folks like your public safety director, who is an executive board member of the South Central Task Force, and our emergency health services people as well too. So it's, without the planning of all of the folks, it just couldn't have happened. I mean, all the volunteers have good hearts, but it starts at the top, it goes through the public safety group, And it goes to some of our key members too. I know Dr. Alan Word is on the Zoom call now. Dr. Tim Davis may be on. Dr. Kathy Jansen may be on. Brittany Furman is our administrative officer, and Brittany is here as well today too. So without 20 years of planning and real dedication to what I can perceive to be the right things, I don't know that it could have happened as easily and as well. So thank you all for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you, Dr. Gucciardi. Thank you. Thank you for everything you said. Thank you for all of your hard work and for volunteering. Thank you. Anyone else in the?
We have Bruce from the church, so I don't know if Bruce wanted to.
Hello. Yeah, so early on, you could see kind of how the community and the county came together. Brian Gobin and the whole group at Quality Care Pharmacy came to the church. Of course, as we well know, there's no public gathering, so he was able to get the initial clinic set up there. But the good news is we got the 1,400 people, so we got the doses in, we got the people coming in, had to move from the church, and that's, you know, that's where to me, I really see the whole thing. And the doctor's comments are really true. Starts at the top, works their way down, because, you know, Carlisle and the Cumberland County really is a community. You can see it work that way. And, you know, we didn't see those mass vaccination clinics come up as fast anywhere else. So great thing, and great volunteers again. You know, 1,300 total number doesn't surprise me. We're running 4 days a week, and people are giving up their time, you know, during, away from taking their kids to soccer and whatever else it might be. But it's just a great thing to see the community come together. And as everybody said, we just need to get the vaccine hesitancy behind us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. Ms. Snyder, do we have anyone on? Oh, I'm
So-
sorry.
no,
Oh,
that's
my
okay.
goodness, Bob, I'm sorry.
I kind of want to touch on Dr. Gucciardi's statements. I mean, any emergency management class that you ever take through the years, really the key part of that is establishing planning committees, collaboration, coordination, and to see that all come together. I mean, it has been truly a community event. Everybody from all the different agencies, volunteers, just like Bruce, that come in day after day, all day long, donating their time. And in the case of the Medical Reserve Corps, many of them are working multiple counties. So again, we have a real good collaboration with all 9 counties in the South Central Task Force. And to be able to coordinate the Medical Reserve Corps across 9 counties, to be able to facilitate multiple vaccination clinics is really remarkable. So again, they put in long hours, and we really appreciate everything they do. So thanks again for everything.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Do we have anyone on Zoom?
We have 26 attendees on Zoom. If anybody has anything to share, you use the raise your hand feature.
No? Okay. All right. So then, again, thank you. Thank you to our volunteers. Thank you to our employees in Cumberland County. This really is a fantastic community event under what I would consider to be dire circumstances. It is amazing what people have done here. It's a group of helpers, as Mr. Rogers would say. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Commissioner, you want to take over then?
I think it goes back to Stacy.
Okay, so, thank you. Before we move on, in our agenda, I'll just share that I too had my vaccination at the mass vaccination clinic and was very impressed. Everybody was so friendly and informative and was taking their job very seriously. Just very impressive all the way around. All right, so we'll move on then to agenda item number 4. And I'll call on Mary Kuna to discuss the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Administrative Agreement renewal. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, everyone. So this agreement is a renewal. So we 5-year agreement between the county and the redevelopment authority to administer the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. If for those who are not familiar, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund was implemented in the county in 1996. It's a fee that's added to the reporting of deeds and mortgages and used to complete affordable housing. So we use it to fund the first-time homebuyer program, to fund, closing costs for that program for first-time homebuyers. We also use it for emergency rental, emergency repairs, and we also do it as a match for certain home fund projects, so, some affordable housing development. So this would just be again a 5-year renewal of our administrative agreement.
Do you have any questions for Mary?
No.
Thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you.
Data Best is on Zoom with us to discuss the 2021-2022 preliminary fiscal budget. Dana?
Good morning. I'm requesting to place the 21-22 fiscal budgets on view on Monday. The total expense is $57,925,904. It's funded 80% by grants, 12% by general fund subsidy, and 8% by other revenue sources. Any questions?
Have none.
Thank you, Dana. I'll now call on Solicitor Brennan to discuss Resolution 2021-16 regarding designating signatories for transfer and acceptance of vehicles.
Morning, Commissioners. This is a resolution I think you're familiar with from prior resolutions. It authorizes each of you individually, together with the chief clerk and a deputy chief clerk, to execute the necessary documentation to either dispose of or purchase a vehicle for the county. And of course, those vehicles aren't disposed of or purchased until you've made a decision to do so first, which helps it administratively.
Any questions? Okay. We'll move on then to agenda item number 7, which is contracts and grants. There are no existing contracts, contract extensions, or addenda with no additional costs or increase to the county. So we'll move directly to agenda item 7, Roman numeral 2, which consists of new contracts, vendors, services, grants, and contracts with increases or decreases to the county. And I'll start by calling on Toy Smith with adult probation to discuss the grant award. Toy?
Good morning.
Morning.
I just have the letter stating that we were awarded the grant money that we applied for through the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency.
Any questions for Toy? No. Thank you, Toy.
Thank you.
Melissa Cavernelli and Dale Savadish are here to discuss the paperless solutions contract. Good morning.
Hi, I'm not sure if is Dale here?
He is.
I don't see it.
It looks
He
like
is? Okay.
it looks like he has volume through the phone. So
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I think he said I could talk with one, and I said that's usually not a problem for me.
no.
This is an addendum to the paperless system that is used for the docketing. Also the workflow system that we use to process all the documents digitally through up to court admin and to the bench. What this addendum adds is a method for court admin to actually inject documents into workflow, which increases efficiency. Right now we have some items that are emailed directly to us. They do not go through the filing office first. This allows them to put that directly in the workflow again, consolidating us to one method of communication. For that, it also adds a way for judges or my office to e-file those documents directly back to the system without having to go to a different place. It's an efficiency measure. I will add that the original cost on this was almost double. The vendor feels it's a good enough addition to the system that they'll be able to use in other counties as well. They actually cut the cost in half for us. So what we're paying is actually half of what the original cost, and then Dale has agreed to split that cost with us, because again, it really increases efficiency between our two departments and the bench. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Melissa. It sounds like it's a safety feature as well. You can electronically file instead of having people delivering paper.
Yes, it very much is. Paper and even emails can get lost. The system that we have in workflow has a lot of tracking. I can see as soon as someone receives it, I can see when they open it, I can see when they print it, I can see when they complete it. There's a very detailed logging system which just isn't there with email, and many people, email disappears after 30 days. You can't go back and find it if they don't archive it set up, so, yeah, we're excited to get this in place to fix some minor issues we've been having.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll call on Jonathan Mays to discuss the contract for the district attorney's office. Jonathan?
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm going to pitch in on this one for Eric Radovich on the MVAC system. He gave me a note and told me not to screw it up, so I'm going to attempt to do it. It's a DNA vacuum to remove and collect material from difficult substrates. As DNA analysis becomes more prevalent, consistent, and effective, collections become a primary focus. This device assists with that end. Costs are fully covered by our current Coverdale grant through NCCP.
Any questions for Jonathan?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, I'll call on Kirk Stoner to discuss the Cumberland Plans grant application for Monroe Township. Kirk?
Good morning, Commissioners. As you recall, the Planning Department has a grant program to provide funds to municipalities to update local plans and ordinances. This year we have an application from Monroe Township for $15,000 for our program, which they're matching with $15,000 cash from municipal funds to update their zoning ordinance. We had our committee from the County Planning Commission review the application and recommended approval. Looking at it from Monroe Township and serving, I think it's to be a great project for them as they look to move ahead with their township, look for agriculture preservation techniques along with opportunities to expand their tax base with new commercial and industrial development.
Any questions for Kirk? All right, thank you, Kirk.
Yep.
Agenda item number 9 is discussion of capital project request, and I'll start by calling on Jonathan Mays again to discuss the vehicle request for CID. Hello again.
Hello. This vehicle is an end-of-life replacement of a detective's vehicle. The vehicle that's being replaced is a 2008 Impala. It's at 109,000 miles and it's starting to rack up some repair costs. The vehicle that we have selected, it's in our 5-year plan, and it's being purchased, and all the upfitting is being performed by CoStar's vendors.
Any questions for Jonathan? Okay. Kenny Hassinger is here to discuss the other capital project request for the Drug Task Force on CID. Kenny?
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes, the Drug Task Force is looking to purchase a Celebrate unit. Basically what we're using it for is logical extraction of information from cell phones to complement Eric Radnovich's forensic unit. This particular device will allow our officers in the field to extract information from the phone for further overdose death investigations in a more timely manner. And also included in that is you'll see on the form, the capital form, is the 2-year maintenance plan along with training of the officers. I anticipate training a select few of officers on the lower end and then 1 or 2 on certification ends so they can provide testimony in prosecutable cases in Cumberland County.
Any questions for Kenny? All right. Thank you, Kenny. We'll move on to Mark Adams to discuss the spring 2021 computer lifecycle replacement request. Mark?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a capital project request for our normal spring lifecycle computer replacement. Anything that's 5 years old gets replaced. This spring, we usually do it in the spring and the fall. This spring, we're replacing 36 laptops and 9 desktops. Total cost is $74,250. The cost of the general fund is $47,150.
Any questions for Mark? Thank you, Mark. Kirk Stoner has 2 capital project requests to discuss for Liquid Fuels Finance. Kirk?
Commissioner, these are both capital project requests that really capture our change orders that have been issued to date for both of these projects, so they're not new projects. Cocoa Bridge, the change orders there are related to issues we have with driving our microfiles and also some issues we have with some surrounding residences. Ramp bridge, you've seen some of the change orders come through that's, we're finding additional issues with the bridge as we remove the sheeting on them. All the costs are anticipated and captured in our capital improvement program.
Any questions for Kurt? All right, thank you, Kurt. I'll now call on Commissioner DeFilippo to discuss the Cumberland County Housing Authority Board reappointment recommendation. Commissioner DeFilippo.
Yeah, thanks. The board is recommending reappointment of Mark E. Bishop for a 5-year term effective May 26th and expiring May 25th of 2026. This will be Mark's 3rd term. The Housing and Redevelopment Authority is governed by the Redevelopment Authorities Act of 1945, and there does not indicate any term limits. I know the other members are anxious to keep Mark on board, and he has expressed interest to stay on board, so I would respectfully request that he be reappointed.
Thank you, Commissioner DeFilippo. Justin Miller is on Zoom to discuss the RCRA Subtitle C Site Identification Form. Justin?
Commissioners, so this is really an administrative request related to our household hazardous waste disposal program. Historically, we've always had to get what's called an EPA ID number when we do these events, and the contractor has always done that. EPA has recently changed their form. They're now asking that both the property owner and the operator or the contractor sign a form for an ID number. And my guess is it's situations where the operator is not the property owner. They're wanting to, acknowledge both parties. So I'm requesting a commissioner signature on this form.
Any questions for Justin? Thank you, Justin.
That requires action
Thank
Monday.
you.
Hey, Jed, don't go yet. So that requires action Monday, I assume?
That was my understanding.
Okay.
Can that signature wait till
Yeah.
Monday?
Yes, they can wait till Monday.
Hey,
Okay.
since we have you on the line, I didn't get a chance to ask you for an update, and we're moving into liaison reports here. So I'd like to put you on the hot seat for a second and ask you about the household hazardous waste event. Can we get a summary on that?
Yes, yeah, you are putting me on the hot seat, so I'll do as best as I can with memory here. I believe we collected right around 41,000 pounds of material, dominated by paint again. I think 72% was either oil-based or latex or spray paint. The event went very smoothly. Contractor did a great job. Very little wait in customers. Got some nice emails from participants thanking us. So very successful in my opinion.
Good. You did just fine. We got the essentials out of that. So, hey, one other thing, since you're on a roll here, you had sent me some information regarding advocacy in terms of these cuts to the budget regarding recycling fee, the recycling fund and such. Do you guys have any specific requests from us in terms of involvement in that?
Yeah, I do. So I think Commissioner Eckelberger updated the board earlier this year that the legislative body took $50 million from the recycling fund. Pennsylvania Resources Council is trying to be proactive this year, and they've generated a template letter that you can sign electronically and send in to the legislative body, encouraging them not to do that again this year. I could simply forward that to you for your consideration, or Gary, why I called you was I even thought maybe I could present it at a meeting, which I'm doing right now, for the all three commissioners' consideration in signing such an agreement or a letter against.
Okay, we'll consider that a request. And you have a template, you say?
I do. So what I can do is forward you electronically this template letter.
Yeah, send it to all three of us if you would, please. And then we can have discussion among ourselves in terms of any questions we might have for you or anything.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right. That's great. Thank you very much. Sorry to put you on the hot seat, but off the top of your head, you're still 10 times better than me recounting stuff second or third hand, so. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Justin, is there a due date for the submission of letters? Is that close?
There is not, Stacy, it's, you know, as they come in, the sooner the better, I would
Great.
think.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. And I have to say before we let you go, you don't have a clever background. I missed that today.
I'll have to find a new one.
Okay, please do. We'll be waiting the edge of our seats for that.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. So as Commissioner Eichenberger said, it is time for liaison reports, so we'll start with Commissioner Eichenberger.
I just gave mine, so.
Oh, okay, there you go, there you go, that works, thank you. Commissioner Balaji.
This week, Commissioner DiFilippo and I were invited to the Cumberland Perry Vocational Technical School, where we received the Partners of the Year Award, which was pretty exciting. So that was really great. But what I really took away from that particular event is that even though Commissioner DiFilippo and I believe, were there to actually touch the award and bring it home, we do none of the work that makes us the Partner of the Year. Claudia Garner was there from Public Safety, Michelle Seibert was there from the DA's office, Sheriff Anderson was there, Coroner Hall was there. And they actually teach things at the VOTEC in the criminal justice program. So we have the plaque, but it most certainly does not belong to the three commissioners sitting here. It belongs to the people who really do the work at the Cumberland Perry VOTEC. So that was really exciting. I had the HATS meeting, the transportation meeting, and the Regional Transportation Plan 2045 is out there on the website, and there is a transportation needs form that you can find at the HATS website, and that is for municipalities to fill out. But I think probably a private citizen could go and fill that form out if they found a transportation need, you know, in their neighborhood or out there on 15, say, or the Carlisle Pike. So you fill it out, you send it over to HATS, and what happens is that's how we start to put things in the pipeline to then eventually get them on the transportation improvement plan so that we can get some money to fix our roads. So I think that was very interesting. I would recommend that everyone go and check out the HATS website because they've got a lot of really great interactive maps going on. This particular map with the transportation need form, you can actually go to the area where someone went, okay, we have a transportation need here. You can read about who submitted it, what the need is. It really is very interesting. So I would recommend that everyone do that. It's just a super tool. The I-81 improvement strategy, phase 2 is officially underway. So 12 areas were identified as needing improvement on 81 in our particular area. So going from Franklin County all the way up into Lebanon County. But many of those are in Cumberland County. Shippensburg, Newville, Carlisle, Mechanicsburg, the Harrisburg River routes, Enola. So those are things to watch because 12 of them were chosen as needing work. Well, they'll get down to 4. So they will pick 4 of that gigantic area to actually do some improvements on 81. And that process of identifying the top 4 will be based on any kind of delay there, any kind of congestion, any kind of safety issues. And then of course we'll get down to available funds versus need. And if there is a huge discrepancy in the funding that is available to fix our roadways and the need. You know, the need is significantly higher. In fact, it has been reported that there is a deficit of $1 billion of roadway funds statewide. So that is sobering, but you can find all of that out at i81southcentralpa.com. Really one of those things we want to stay on top of in Cumberland County because I know that Interstate 81 is a huge concern to the residents here. And that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Balaji. Commissioner DiFilippo.
I have 2 updates. One is from the Housing and Redevelopment Authorities. Excuse me, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program is currently in full operation and has seen significant interest from tenants throughout the county. I'm sure that is no surprise. With the assistance of our facilities department, the housing and redevelopment group is strategizing for much needed improvements in the public senior housing. Under the redevelopment authority, as you know, developed the Act 152 Cumberland County Demolition Fund guidelines and applications have been completed. Also, the authority is currently upgrading technology for the housing management staff to be used at the tax credit properties to provide them with better access to their files and improve speed of service to the tenants. Executive Director Mary Kuda recently attended a Housing Alliance Pennsylvania Land Bank Network meeting and currently working through some land bank policies and procedures. Conservation District met Tuesday morning. Tree seedling sale was a success. In fact, it was the second largest one they've had since it started many years ago. Had 468 customers with over 15,000 trees dispersed. The Envirothon for 2021, the awards were given out, or will be given out. Cumberland Valley High School ranked first, followed by Boiling Springs, and then Big Spring High School. The Conservation District also made recommendations for their yearly awards. Todd Rappert of R&R Farms in Monroe Township nominated for 2021 Farmer of the Year. Todd's been farming for 42 years and is a 7th generation farmer. Owns 2 farms, both preserved, and rents an additional 393 acres. The Clean Water Award was given to Integrated Development Partners LLC. The Erosion and Sedimentation Control and NPDS staff selected Integrated Development Partners for this award. The team at IDP typically submits high quality and complete NPDES permit submissions, and their permit documents often include site designs that incorporate erosion and sedimentation control and post-construction stormwater management plans that exceed regulatory requirements. And last but not least, the Conservation District gave out the Media Conservation Award, which they haven't done in a few years. And this is presented to an individual, county department, or organization that has made an outstanding contribution to the public's awareness of conservation districts and natural resource issues. This year, they have selected the Cumberland County's Communication Office, which consists, of course, of Director Samantha Krebs and her staff, Ben and Chris. And I'm reading here from the Conservation District personnel. Since the Communications Office was first established, they have done a great job in getting the word out about the roles of all county departments and how they can assist the general public with their needs. The Communications Office has trained the Conservation District staff on how to best utilize Facebook to reach their site users. They promote programs by utilizing the county website for announcements and press releases to reach the most people possible. Press releases were written up and were sent out to local news media for distribution in our newspapers and social media sites. The Communications Office has promoted many Conservation District programs and events, including the tree seedling sale, high school envirothon, scholarship program, rain barrel program, cover crop program, and I could go on and on and on. So, Sam, congratulations to your group. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. DiPolito.
I just wanted to add something, although not as exciting as Samantha's award and her group's award. So the Cumberland Valley Varsity Cheerleaders won the national championship at Disney World this week. which is pretty exciting. So the championships were held from April 23rd to 25th at WDW, and they are our national champs. So that's pretty excellent here in Cumberland County. Congratulations to all of them.
That's exciting. Thank you. I would like to report there were executive sessions held on April 21, 2021 at 11:45 a.m. regarding personnel, April 26, 2021 at 10:35 a.m. regarding real estate, and April 28, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. regarding personnel. Is there any additional business that needs to come before the board today? Hearing none, we are adjourned.